Eve to a lot of you. This is David talking about improving your health, wellness, and fitness by working on your body, mind, and spirit, balancing the triad. So, literally, with that, what does it mean to be balanced and healthy? So, first off, let's say here it's something you're always working on, which is where the idea of balancing, it's not balance, but balancing comes in. You're always working on it. And that's an answer to that question I kind of found over the years. And it's a little bit of it has been pieced together. And I'm not going to go with the full story right here, but needless to say, it was probably in high school. It was in high school when I really started taking exercise and training seriously and started thinking a little bit about nutrition. Didn't realize it kind of played a factor in saving my life. So that's when I ended up getting degrees in it. But in high school is where I started lifting weights and started getting interested in the body. So at least that's where the body element came in. And then as I was in college, I started developing into meditation. I got interested in meditation, energy work, massage therapy, different aspects. So I started working on the mind part. Well, somewhere through there too, I don't remember which one happened first. So we need to kind of backtrack of sorts. So as I also started getting into personal growth, personal development. Matter of fact, it might all come around the same time. Personal growth, personal development, started working on the mind, started learning stuff. What can I do to improve myself in different areas? I got into meditation, then eventually into energy work, which for me came the more spiritual side of it. And it was working on all three of those different elements. And for me, a lot of times with meditation, when I started out, I mean, there's many different styles of meditation here. And of course, sometimes they have one that says, okay, this one's better than this one's better than that one. I think you should just try something out. A lot of times for my meditations to begin with, I was literally just sitting on the floor, facing the wall, eyes half closed, soft spot, and just kind of looking out about into the wall where everything blurred up, and I was just breathing. And I don't even remember how long. I might start off with, say, 5 minutes, and I built up from there. Now, if I do regular meditation, I got a mantra I use, a personal mantra from one of my teachers. That's what I use. Or I listen to a lot of paraliminals, which is technology. But okay, let me get back on track here. The idea was I found out it's working on all those elements together. I still like to learn. And for me, I've learned within the past year and a half, though, when I learned more about bank, is that knowledge is one of my bases. I want to know everything. I want to figure things out. That's part of my personality, how I work. So, but what it was, it's learning with the mind. And then from there, it was figuring out, okay, we got our analytical mind, our creative mind, even though they both work together at the same time, but yet we can emphasize one or the other. How much the subconscious plays into it. It's going through and realizing everything we put into it, everything we listen to, everything we hear, everything we watch, we read, has an impact on us. And subconscious is what runs the show. And with the body, I've learned over the years, for me personally, I like resistance training. That's my game at. I got some friends, one of them likes to cycle. I got another one that does a lot of running. I got one that is cycling and weightlifting. So it's what's going to work for you. And even with when I went through the cancer aspect, and this is where everything really came to head, is when I realized how important it was. And for many of us, the journey is when we look back. So when I dealt with 3 weeks of the cancer aspect and went through a couple months later, I was able to look back and realize, I handled that all pretty easily. And I was able to look back at different parts of my life. There was times when I'd be sitting at my desk here and something would get me frustrated on the computer, and I would literally slam my hands down the desk. I would get so pissed. I mean, just slam my fist down the desk and almost make it so. But in going through the process, when I look back, I realized I hadn't done that in some time. There used to be stuff I'd work on the computer, have frustration, I'd get mad and irritated, and it hadn't happened for quite a while. And that was starting to look back, and I started realizing when I pieced all these elements together, the body, the mind, and the spirit, is when again, when we're looking back, is where I handled everything pretty well, pretty easily. And that's where I think the balance part come in. By working on those different elements, and it depends on what's going on in your life at the moment. I always think of it as a pie chart. You got your body, you got your mind, you got your spirit as a pie chart. And then you can even break up the different elements I have in there. And depending on what's going on in your life, each one may get a little bigger. So if you're dealing with illness or injury, body might be a big part of it because you are healing up. So that may take precedence. You got to work on your sleep, you got to work on your rest, get proper nutrition, maybe rehab. While on the other hand, if you went through a breakup, or a job loss, you may be going through the mental part. You may be working on your mind a little more, saying, okay, what happened? You may be analyzing it. At the same time, you might be spiritual. Why happened to me? What's going on? What's taking place? So there's a variety of factors that go on. So it's always balancing. But it's also understanding it just takes those small steps each time, just a little bit each day, a little bit here and there. If you're part of my story, it's before I even went through the cancer aspect, but when the first stages of it, before I got referred out of the area to go down for a doctor's appointment, I had suicidal thoughts. It wasn't the first time, it was the first time I looked at the techniques. But for me, those baby steps, I continued to meditate in the morning, and I had some afternoons. On social media, I continued to post up and make sure I watch and read positive information. I kept doing at least some type of learning, and I kept my training up. Those little aspects around which kept me going. They kind of kept me ahead of the curve, if you will. And I kept going with those steady each day. And again, Monday was when the first thoughts came in. By Friday, they were all gone because I kept taking those small little steps. And sometimes that's all it takes is just those little steps. And that's what I always want to emphasize on here on this channel, on this page, is it's find out what works for you. What's going to work for you? What can you do to help take care of yourself? And it's starting with those small baby steps. And like I said, with my experience in dealing with suicidal thoughts, that's all I can muster up. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to reach out to anybody, but instead it was just at least, like I said, for me, I know I wasn't going to do something that week. So that might have been my saving grace of sorts, but I knew enough to keep doing those little bits each day. So that's where you start. Balance in the triad, body, mind, and spirit. It comes to balance, health, balance life, balance health, being balanced and healthy, however you want to phrase it. When we go through and take those baby steps and then through the journey, what you learn about yourself. I know I made a post up in my Facebook group, I think it was yesterday, the day before, realizing that a lot of times you got to start digging deep. You start going inside, you go down a little bit, work, see what you find, deal with that progress, dig a little deeper. And that's part of the process. You go through the journey. But you're going to figure out what's going to work for you, what you like, what you don't like. But as long as you at least keep going, that's when you can find the balance in there. You're always at least halfway balance for the most part. And that's when life kind of gets easier. And again, when I went through the cancer, supposed to go for a biopsy, woke up in ICU the next day. My reaction was, okay. That's how easy to handle it because I've been working on my body, mind, spirit for a while. And that's what it could do. Life just kind of flows along either. Right now, not too much gets me worked up. Occasionally it does, but not too much. And I can have even keel. I normally have a calm state of mind to handle a lot of things. Am I great at everything? Oh, heck no. I still got plenty of work to do. I still mess up. I still screw up. But I can handle it pretty easily. Kind of with grace. That would be the best way to handle it. So, yeah, start to realizing it's okay to have it's a great way to have a balanced and healthy. And you can be balanced and actually living life and not just surviving through and barely making it through, but you're kind of thriving. Even in your worst situation, you can still be thriving up. So it's a great place to be in. So I'm going to strongly encourage you to start working on your triad. Little steps. Start one spot, your body, your mind, or your spirit. Start there and then progress. And to get some help on that, in a Facebook group, or there's a free Facebook group, or there's training there on your journey. So that way there you're no longer going to be overwhelmed and healthy. And you're going to be balanced and living. And you're 50 years and beyond. So second half of the century might be better than your first. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. We'll catch you tomorrow. So take care and balance.